I did a video yesterday and I forgot to post it. Wasn't really much to talk about. Actually, a lot more to talk about today. Obviously, yesterday morning I was a little depressed. Weather's killing us. I'm going stir crazy. The horse has got to jog on the back track, so we're not getting the horses trained or the babies trained. And I think a lot of this stems from when they had fixed the track in the summer. I don't really know what goes into laying a base properly in the track, but a track that's been there that long should be able to take a thaw and keep going. Instead, we're going on exactly 7 days of the main track being closed right now. And it looks like we're going to be encroaching on 10 days of it being closed before it's open. And it simply can't happen. And I don't want to complain to the, there's a lot of people that worked hard to get this, to get this project done for the track. And obviously nothing ever turns out perfectly. And hopefully there's something to learn from this. But it certainly has put us in a frustrating situation. And then that was only exasperated last night by two chalk favorites making breaks at the gate. And I can see the tensions, not just from myself, but from our clients, boiling over a little bit also. Received emails last night from a few clients angry about Spitfire or White Tiger. And I'll tell you right now, I try to put out all the flames I can. But when it comes to this ridiculous, stupid rule, a horse makes 25 off strides for 25. That is the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. And there is no need for that rule to be in. That is an addition to a rule that was perfectly fine. If you make a break and you're losing ground and you reset and come back on and win the race, I don't care how many lengths you've run by. I don't care how many you've run for. Because clearly, if you can make an extended break, 25 lengths is a long break. If you can make 25 strides off stride and then come back and win the race, so in this case come back and finish third, you were a better horse. Why are we penalizing people for this 25 strides? It's the dumbest rule I've ever seen. It doesn't serve anyone. I would love to know the architect behind this and on what premise it was put in place. Because it makes no sense to me. I rack my brain. I don't want to be the guy that complains because it happens to him. So, whatever. It happened to White Tiger. I've seen it happen a few times before. It happened to one of our horses also as a 2-year-old in the final or semifinal. But aside from what happens to us, I need to know why it's important to have this rule in place. It serves no one. If the horse is losing ground while on a break, and you and I both know, like the whole losing ground while on a break thing was kind of subjective too, because I've seen times when horses looked like they were not losing ground, reset, get back in the race, and do well, and they're like, no, that horse lost enough ground. I just don't know why you needed that extension amendment for the 25 lengths. It makes no sense. It's literally the dumbest rule I've ever seen in my entire life. Anyway, so Tiger ended up third, placed 8th. And I'm not even as mad that he get placed, as mad that the rule even exists. I feel as bad for the other people that are not in the stable that this has happened to as I do for us. White Tiger will go out next week and likely win that class. And for the people out there saying it's a wasted start, of course it's a wasted start. But he's in a position now where he wins that class and he's in the open for 3 starts. So you're only going to get 1 win in there, and then you're going to be in tough for 3 more starts. So if we can find a way to win 1 or be second or find our way into racing until we get into the New Holland, which, yes, I entered White Tiger and Locatelli in the New Holland Trotting Series. Locatelli won it like 2 years ago, something like that. I'm tried my hardest. I didn't want to make this video last night, and I was probably just as angry last night about it as I am today. Angry that he made the break, and then doubly angry that they institute this stupid rule that serves, like I said, it serves no one. It does nothing. If your horse makes an extended break and is losing ground legally, goes back on stride and wins the race, guess what? He was the best horse in the race by far, and as such should be the winner. It's just so stupid. Anyway, whatever. It's a rule, and it is what it is. There's dumb rules in every sporting event, I guess. Anyway, enough about that. So we had 2 horses going to the gate. They both made breaks. I had somebody message me, 3 people message me angry about Spitfire. So here's the thing. Somebody, everybody is kind of leaning towards blaming it on Brett. My brother Mark made a break with this horse in the gate also. I almost made a break with him. And had he not made a break on Mark the start before, he most definitely would have made one on me. I was waiting for it. If I wasn't waiting for it, he would have made one on me for sure. He is not an easy horse at the gate, and I thought Brett did an extraordinary job with him 2 weeks ago to get him away from the gate, from the rail. And then last night, the horse was clearly warm. He was frothed up a little bit. And then as he came up to the gate, he was just more aggressive and then ended up slamming into the gate. I saw it. You saw it. And it's easy to say, oh, it's Brett's fault. Somebody said, well, Spitfire's not hot like that. Just hold your horses. I drove him 100% more than you did, for sure. I drove him plenty, and I can tell you, he wore a snake cord for a very long time. He's very tricky at the gate. In the middle of the gate, he's not that bad. You can even bring him out and put his nose on it. But when you're on the inside of that gate, the rail especially, that's a tough place to be. Because you don't want to get away 7th with him, right? So you're trying to cheat up there as much as you can. So what Brett did 2 weeks ago, I almost thought he'd put him in a tough spot where he might have made a break, and he ended up driving him perfect. And he was trying to duplicate that. It just didn't work out yesterday. Now, was the track different? Clearly the horse did seem a little disheveled. He said, you could see the white foam on him. He was a little wound last night, which he can get. For whatever reason. I'm not sure. But he makes a break. I'm angry about it. You're angry about it. But sending me rant emails directly after the race doesn't serve anybody any purpose now, does it? I could send I could send a rant out right after the race, right after White Tiger made a break. Big, long rant. Doesn't serve anybody. I think sometimes it's better just to take a deep breath. Especially when you're at night, you're there at night. I put myself in everybody's shoes. Put yourself in my shoes. Races are canceled for a week here in Ohio. I'm getting angry. I'm getting frustrated. I'm going a little stir crazy. Here we finally have 5 horses in. Kings County's in tough. So really, 4 horses you're hoping have a shot. Renegade Gypsy raced fantastic yesterday. Raced great. Dover in Motion is a layover in that class, and at some point I assume they're going to say, hey, you can't come here for a few weeks. And then maybe Gypsy gets a shot at beating them. It's plausible to believe he will. So you have Gypsy racing great. You Kings County, you knew that was going to be a walk around, finished 8th or 9th or whatever the hell he finished. Now we need to draw the inside with him. Get him squared away, draw the inside, let him rock. That's where we're at with Kings County, so I was happy with Kings County. And then we come to Tiger, and I was shocked. Shocked that he made a break at the gate, and then doubly shocked with the mile he went afterwards. 27 flat on the end of it after losing 27 strides at the gate. Pretty amazing mile, actually. I just wonder how the gate gets broke. And then we went to who did we go to now? And then we went to Spitfire. Imagine now there's a daily double for you in the middle of the card. Spitfire and White Tiger. One picked to win going for 24. The other one picked to win going for, what did he go for? 24 also maybe? And both of them make breaks as chalk favorites. Oh my God. And then of course, Locatelli went out and raced good also. Somebody said, why wouldn't Chris leave with Locatelli? Because he's not good enough to beat those horses. What's he going to do? Leave out into the 2 favorites that are also leaving? Keep in mind, the horses that sat 1-2 were the massive favorites. You think they're just going to say, oh, no, come on, Chris, you just clear to the front. Away you go. You're good. No. And if they did, he just stung them. Chris got away in a spot where he got all he could get last night. Wasn't going to win. Wasn't going to be second. He wasn't going to be third. Now, if we drew the rail and got the trip that Travis Cullen got, maybe we would have won the Open last night. That's a fair argument. We didn't draw the rail. We weren't going to be afforded an opportunity to get in where he was. So I think he did the right thing by the horse. It's frustrating. It's frustrating to watch. I'm the guy that races a horse. I would have been out of there with him. 100% I would have. But that wouldn't have served us any, in hindsight, that wouldn't have helped the horse or us. So, I'm glad that we're getting the horses jogged and that the back track is holding up. I want to go up and look at the main track right now. I'm glad that all that is getting done, that the horses are getting moved, but thoroughly disappointed in the fact that, in the fact that we can't get on the main track. Very, very disappointed with with the whole situation. And I know everybody is. It's one of those things where everybody I'm going to see today is irate, right? They're all angry. They're all frustrated. But every one of them are in the same boat. There's not much we can do. Now, I think I've started this video 3 times, so I believe this might be the one where I talked about, the way the track was fixed and what may or may not be wrong with it. I have no idea for sure. I'm not a track man. Looks fine from where I'm at. From what I can see, I wish I could give you a view of it, but I cannot because it's fenced off. Maybe I can drive up and look at it. All right, truck, that's enough. There you go. Now, from my standpoint, the track looks in perfect condition. Certainly doesn't look like it should be closed, but I do see pylons 1, 2, 3, at least 3 pylons on the track, which leads me to believe that see if you can see them. So the track looks fine, but if you look down there, I don't know if you can see it or not, there are orange construction pylons on the track, and I think they're frost holes. So my take is this. Now, again, I'm not a track guy, but I'm going to attempt it. They took a lot of the bank out of the track, and the material they have on it, it's not very coarse, right? And I think what ends up happening is the water's sitting on the track. There's no way for it to drain. Maybe I'm wrong. I have no idea, but that's what it seems like to me, is there's no way for this track to drain. And further to that, why can't we be on the track and just leave the pylons there and tell everybody, stay too wide? Like, it's very frustrating. It's hard for us to keep our horses tight right now. Not hard, it's impossible. Anyway, that's what it is. So, many of you know by now, Walters Keepsake and What a Mission again are scratched for a 2nd week in a row. Their races are canceled. I have asked him if he can get them in at the Meadows. Go ahead and try. I'm not the only one that's going to think of that. I suspect the Meadows box is going to be bulging today, which means we're likely not going to get those horses in to go. But we'll see. We'll see. Oh, you know what I did forget? My iPad. I want to go over some of the staking. I will end this video by saying I truly appreciate everybody sending their 2 cents in for the staking, whether it be questions. Hey, Anthony, why do we do this? Why are you talking about this? Is this horse going to be paid into these things? I do appreciate that because it allows me to expand my view of what we're trying to accomplish here. I did finish the reports yesterday in pencil. So what'll happen now is Joanne Staking will send those out. We will bill those out. We'll go over them again. Now, when everybody gets the reports and gets a look at the reports, take a look. If you have any questions, if you have any concerns or thoughts you want to interject, then please, this will be the time to do that. By around the 10th of February, they're going to want everything locked in ink. So let me know what you think if you want, but I think we got a pretty good handle on what is going on. I got the bill, which only exasperated my stress level yesterday, but you know what, we're working through it. So with that, I'm going to let everybody go. I know it's a frustrating day. I did want to vent a little bit, but I did want to talk to all you. Please don't think I'm angry at anybody. If you send me a rant or a snarky message after a race and maybe you get one a little tart back, just remember, I understand where you're coming from. I'm your partner, and when Spitfire Overseas makes a break, the first thing I think of is you cannot put the horse on the gate, but there's a thin line. You can't be way off the gate also and get away 8th with Spitfire. I think Brett was trying to duplicate exactly what he did 2 weeks ago, and he was on course to do it until he wasn't. So I am a little disappointed, but that's racing, right? It's a game of inches sometimes, and it doesn't serve us any good to blame Brett Miller. The guy, him and Stacy have done a tremendous job for us in Southern Ohio. Way more good than they could ever do bad, and I truly appreciate their efforts, and it certainly isn't their fault. Obviously, what happened last night was unfortunate, but we'll get another crack at it, hopefully from the 5 or 6 hole next week, so that's good. We'll leave that there. White Tiger, this is not his first break at the gate, but because he's my brother, I'll blame James, because he's an idiot. Obviously, the horse was hot last night. Was it the track? I don't know. He said, I believe Dominic only told me that James said he was a little steppy at the gate. A little steppy at the gate. Maybe we'll be on the lookout for that next week. And he'll be back in that class also. 1 to 5 last night. I don't see any Tigers dropping down, Giants dropping down, Killers dropping down into White Tigers wheelhouse, and that's a good class for him. I wish that class was even an 80 claimer, because I think I could talk Amy into the old guy here, Don McCurgan. He's a million years old. Yeah, I think I could talk Amy into putting him in there. You know, eventually. We're not keeping Tiger forever. Everybody knows that. And when the old guy left. Do they not think that we can't go around those pylons? Huh? They don't think that we can't go around those pylons? Because aside from those 3 spots right there where the pylons are, it looks like the track's pretty good.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. I'd raced on tracks 10 times worse than that. You drove around the goddamn road.
Yeah, I don't know why they just don't say, hey, go around stay too wide.
There's nothing wrong with that track.
I wonder, why can't we talk them into opening it? They don't understand that we got to keep our horses tight, too.
You've been on the back track?
Well, that's what happens when you have 300 horses on a third of a mile track. They gotta get this thing open.
I know.
Anyway.
I agree 100%.
I think I'm going to ask Amy now. They're not going to do anything, but maybe I'll ask her, hey, can you not just ask the horseman, stay in the middle of the track?
Out there. Let us get the,
Yeah, 100%.
Christ.
Well, let's see if we can get it open. He's driven on tracks worse than that. That guy was driving before they had tracks. He's a nice old man, though. Anyway, that's what we're up against. That's the anger from horse people right now, and I don't blame them. So we're working through the issues here at Northfield, working through all the issues. Right now, my job is to keep the babies getting jugged and trained up, keep our horses as tight as we can, keep a focus on the staking coming up, and the calendar, right? Lots going on here at the stable, even though there's not lots going on the track. So with that, I'll let you go. I hope you guys have that's going to make my day. I hope... I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'll talk to you all soon. Take care.